Hey viewers, I have a little film camera quick tip for you. So this is for all the analog lovers and hipsters out there. So, put down your past blue ribbon and listen up. Alright, so on the back of most film cameras you'll find this little slot here which is designed to hold the film label. And the whole idea is you're supposed to take the box the film came in, tear off the little corner that has the label on it, and slide it into that slot so you know what you're shooting. But the only problem with that for me is I don't have film in individual boxes. And that's because I buy my film the same way I buy my trucker hats, which is 5 at a time. And I don't really want to tear off the corner of this 5-pack because Lord knows I'm just going to lose track of it after the first roll. So I decided to make some labels that stay in there all the time, and the way this label is designed, it's actually going to give me 8 options of different films I could display in there. So here's how you do it. You take a little strip of paper that measures 3 centimeters tall by 12 centimeters wide. So again, 3 centimeters tall, 12 centimeters wide. The first thing you want to do is fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. So it's a nice little square in quarters. And when you open it back up, you have a total of 8 little squares that you can write the different types of film you're going to be using, because you have front and back. So you take the first square, and the very first square you should write empty, because this is what's going to be displayed on the camera most of the time when you don't have film in it. So then in the first square I will write a film that I use quite often, which is Ilford Delta 100. But now it's not as simple as that. Sometimes I push Ilford Delta 100 one stop, sometimes I pull it one stop, sometimes I push it 2 stops. Now I'd like my label to be able to reflect that. So I have Ilford Delta 100 written in the middle, but I also have 4 sides to this square. So the first thing I'm going to do is along the right hand side I'm going to write +1 stop. Then along the bottom I'm going to write -1 stop. And then along the other edge I'm going to write +2 stops. So now on this single label I have the film I'm using and a total of 4 different processing options. Now I'm going to do it for all the other films I use. So I also often use Ilford Delta 400. And again, +1 stop, -1 stop, and +2 stops. I don't do that often on 400, but it is a possibility. And I would just continue this process until I had all my commonly used films written on these pieces. Now on the other side I like to put my color films. So I'm first going to put Fuji Velvia 100 because that's a transparency film I use quite often, which by the way is far superior to Fuji Velvia 50. So let the angry comments begin. One day I will do a video on why Velvia 100 is better than 50. But I have Fuji Velvia 100. Just next to it I'll have Kodak Portra 160 and Kodak Portra 400. So now I have a label where I can just fold it to the proper film that I'm using, and then I will turn it so that it has the proper processing at the top. Now if you're a real champion of OCD like I am, you'll print it out on the computer using a pretty little font on some cute textured paper, and then you got yourself a real professional looking film label for all your old cameras. Alright, so there you have it. That's how you make a custom film label. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.